This is an entry-level dual sport from Honda for less than $3,000. Hey, what's up guys, Rado here, and this is brand new bike from Honda. They came out with this thing last year. This 2023 model and 24 are the same bikes, and it carries a legendary name, XR. We all know the old school Honda XR's air-cooled 4-stroke engines that just ran forever. Everybody loved them. They were super reliable and also had good power. Now this thing, they label it as an entry-level dual sport, so you can pretty much take it a little bit off-road, stay on the street. The tires are, I would say, a little bit more street-oriented, and you do have some suspension travel here. It does look a little bit like a dual sport, maybe slightly like a dirt bike trying to look, but it does come with a lot of interesting things, interesting components. And today I want to jump on this thing, ride it, and actually compare this to pretty much the same segment bike from Yamaha that has been unchanged since like 1987, and I actually own that bike. So we're gonna compare this to Yamaha TW200. Let's jump on this legendary XR, see how it feels. Alright, here we go. Slightly uphill road here. I hold every gear a little bit longer and I shift to fifth gear at around 50 miles per hour. And the bike felt really good. As you can see, it's pulling nicely through the gears and it just goes. So it's not a problem if you go uphill to keep 60, even a little bit more, maybe 65 miles per hour. I need to mention that we got this bike from Jay Clark from Dirt Bike TV. Jay is our good friend. He got this bike recently from Honda, and we have it for a couple of weeks to do a little testing and come up with this comparison video. So thank you, Jay. Now, as you can see here on this highway, I was keeping it at 65, no problem at all, even going a little bit uphill, and the bike didn't feel like it's working too hard, and I didn't have it full throttle. It would probably do 70 if the road is nice and straight. Now I came to this pickup truck that kind of sneak up on me, or actually I sneak up on him because he was doing maybe like 50 miles per hour. So I had to down him down to like fourth gear and just wait for the opportunity. When the opportunity came, I just twisted the throttle and passed that pickup truck doing like 60, 65. So as you can see, this thing moves, and I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised that I'm a 210 pounds guy sitting on this little 150 4-stroke, and this thing is pulling, even going uphill, has no problem keeping with the traffic, even, you know, passing cars and doing 60, 65, no problem at all. Alright, I think that's enough cruising on a highway at 65. I think it's time to try something a little bit different. This bike is sold as an entry-level dual sport, so we definitely have to check also how this bike feels on a dirt road or something a little bit more bumpy. So let's get off-road. So if I compare this to TW from Yamaha, that is pretty much the same category. Now the TW comes with a huge wheels, huge tires. The rear tire on the TW is super wide, and front as well, maybe double compared to this one. So you can definitely feel that on the TW you are more planted. These tires are pretty skinny and they are not off-road. So when it gets a little loose, like if you go to a little sand section, you can feel that the traction and stability is not there. So TW definitely wins on the traction and stability on the stock tires. But when it comes to just pure cruising, when the conditions are not too bad, it's really comparable to TW, especially on the road. Getting it up to like 60 miles per hour wasn't a problem. Staying at that speed is also okay if the conditions are not like too steep or too windy. Yes, you definitely feel when it gets too windy, when the wind hits my chest, then I can feel that the bike is slowing down. We can do another little off-road test here. The first thing I notice are the tiny foot pegs. Hopefully IMS has something to replace these things, because if you want to stand up on the pegs, definitely feels way too small. It's going uphill, look at that. It has enough power to pull that thing. Good off-road tires would be a huge plus for sure. But it's fun. It took me up here where I wanted to go, and that's what matters. Look at that view. Look at that view. Alright, so XR150 will get you to pretty nice places. Maybe a bit slower than other bikes, but you'll get there. Let's do one more test. I'm going a little bit uphill on this pavement and I have a very strong wind blowing against me. So I wanted to show you how this bike will run, and as you can see, I'm trying to keep every gear as long as I can to speed up to certain speed, and it's really not going super fast. I'm only hitting like 45-50 max, and even though I was holding that fourth gear for a little bit longer time, when I shifted to fifth, it just wouldn't go above 50 miles per hour going uphill with the strong wind blowing against us. Alright my friends, so here we go, TW200 and XR150. Let's look at these things one by one. It did over 65 miles per hour with me on it, with a little bit of the wind, and I even passed the pickup truck. You saw it, I was on it, I was spinning, so it's definitely a bike that can go. Honestly, I was surprised. I thought 150cc with me on it will be slower, and it's comparable to this TW200. Yes, 200, you can feel it has more power, it pulls a little bit better, but kind of cruising top speed is very similar on these two bikes. One thing I have to say, it is way smoother. Riding is way smoother. I love how it feels. It pulls nicely. It's not too noisy. It's a good commuter bike, little grocery getter, camping bike, first bike for the teenage daughter or son. It has really a lot of ways how you can use this bike. Now, one thing where this thing is definitely winning is a price. We're looking at essentially same segment bikes. They have same equipment on, same kind of brakes, engine very similar bikes. Now this one retails for 2,970 something. This one retails for 4,800 or 900. $2,000 difference, guys. So the price of this thing is a big plus. I think it is a big thing, only paying below 3,000. We usually see these kind of prices from Chinese manufacturers coming to the market. So I'm really surprised, positively surprised that Honda actually comes with a bike that is entry level, street legal, and kind of goes okay, XR, and still cost less than $3,000. So definitely this one wins here. Now for the fuel tank, there's also a thing that we have to talk about. This TW stock tank comes with 1.8 or 9 gallons. This one comes with 2.8 gallons, 1 gallon more. That's a huge difference, guys. If you go a longer trip on these bikes, people usually get some aftermarket tanks, but they don't look very good. You put them on, they don't look very good. The styling, TW styling, this is a legendary styling. So you put different tank, you're kind of changing all the styling. Now for this XR, you don't need to change anything. It already comes with a big tank, and I think that's a huge plus. Now one thing that I have to give it to TW is, hey, if you are riding TW, you are the coolest guy around. I'm not sure about the XR, probably not. TW has the status. When you own the bike, you buy the bike and you are a member of a club right away. You are a TW member. And it does have this status as a very cool dual sport that can do it all, and people just love it. Now XR does not have that status. XR has a legendary two letters, XR, and that's about it. I hope it will be reliable the same way that the old school XR were, the air-cooled 400 or 650 or 650R, those bikes. So hopefully it will be the same. But as of right now, this thing is a legend. This thing just came out, so definitely have to give it to TW over here. And also power is better, and you can feel the difference. Now, little things on this bike, you can feel that it is a brand new bike. It was just put together recently. When you ride it and you compare it to this TW, which was put together in 1997, definitely feel the difference in the ergonomics, how the bike feels, how smooth this thing is, how everything just falls in your hands right away, and it feels really smooth. I love the seat, I have to tell you. The seat is super soft. My daughter was here with me on a little trip. She's 9 now. She was sitting here on this nice soft seat. She really enjoyed it over there. And over here, she complains sometimes. This is like a board, so I have to give it to XR that really has a comfy seat. Now XR comes stuck with that little thing in the back where you can put a bunch of stuff. You can put your backpack or whatever else you want to put here, and that's something that people always buy aftermarket for TW. XR already comes stuck with it for under $3,000, so that's also a big plus right there. This thing is a little bit heavier, 10 pounds heavier than TW. 280 something, this is 270 something. I don't really feel it, honestly. It feels light in my hands, and yeah, I think the 10 pounds, you don't really feel the difference. Now, one thing I have to say, the foot pegs, I don't know why people from Honda or Yamaha, also Yamaha comes with a little tiny foot pegs. The moment you want to stand up on your foot pegs like you normally do when you ride off-road, they just feel too small, they feel not enough. And if you buy this bike and you want to be somewhat serious, if you want to stand up at least sometimes, I definitely recommend to come with bigger foot pegs. I got IMS foot pegs for this one because also it had a tiny T, what was it, from the little 50. So yeah, PW, that's the bike. So definitely you would need to upgrade the foot pegs on both of these bikes. But other than that, good little bike, honestly. And I'm happy, as I said, that it's below $3,000 and doesn't come from China. It comes from Japan. It's reliable. It looks pretty good. Look at the suspension travel. Actually, it's more than on TW. At least it looks like that. And I'm sure that Racetech will come with a spring rate that can be done for guys like me, or maybe even heavier, so you can be a little bit more serious when you go off-road. Right now, yes, it is a little bit soft. It's meant for people who are a little bit lighter. So definitely it is a entry-level bike. If your son is 15, 16 or daughter 15, 16 and this is their first thing they ride, definitely go for it, get it. But if they already ride, if they already can clear the triples at the track, this probably wouldn't suffice. So that's my opinion. But if you have it as a camp bike, as something that you go and get your groceries, you can even commute on this thing. If you live in a city and you don't have a highway in your commute, you can definitely use this for commute. Overall, I had fun, good little bike. You know, my shoulder, I had surgery 6 months ago, so I'm still not 100%. I'm still not riding motocross, so it's kind of fun bike to get back on the road. That's how I was using this TW, so I can still ride it a little bit, but I'm not doing no jumps, nothing like that. So this bike is really good for something like that as well. Well, my friends, well, that's about it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this little review, little comparison. Drop the comment below, and don't forget, whatever you do, stay motivated. See you later.